Okay, so we're going to determine all the bearings from A to B, B to A, B to C, C to B, A to C, and C to A. And we were given a few pieces of information. Angle A is 110 degrees. Angle B is 28 degrees. And angle C is 42 degrees. We're okay with that so far. Now, we want to figure out the bearing, or the number, okay? Take a deep breath. This will be confusing at first. We'll need to spend 2 days on it, okay? So, if I am standing at A, and draw a little compass. This is north. This is east. This is south. This is west. Give me a directional bearing, okay? Not a number. Give me a directional bearing to get from A to C. Now, give me a numerical bearing. 270 degrees. Everybody okay with that? If I'm standing at A, what direction do I travel to get to C? West. 0, 90, 180, 270. Okay. All right, I'm going to move to C. North, east, south, west. What is the direction of travel to get from C to A? East. 90 degrees. So far, so simple, correct? Those are the easy ones because you are directly east or west or north or south from one another. I will, on your test and for your assignment, only give you problems where you are, one line is already established as north and south or east and west. Okay? I won't do any of the funky ones. Okay? But how do we figure out the rest? Here's what you need to do sometimes. I'm going to create a grid. I find that this often helps students. A grid of north, east, south, and west lines, where the intersection always makes a 90-degree angle. So can somebody tell me, if this angle is 42, what is this angle here? 48 degrees, because they have to add up to 90. Does everybody see that I have here a triangle? What do all the triangle angles have to add up to? 180. So 180 minus 90 is 90, minus 48 is 42 degrees. Okay. What do these three angles have to add up to? 90. So 90 minus 42 is 48, minus 28 is 20. You see my other triangle. All the angles must add up to 180 minus 90 is 70 minus 90 is 90, minus 27. Figuring out those can often help us determine some of the bearings that we want to find. Now, I'm going to place myself at C, and I'm going to choose to go to B. Tell me in two directions, what is the direction of travel that I take to get from C to B. Northeast. We'll do the numerical one in a second. To get from C to B, we travel northeast. Can somebody tell me how many degrees past north do you turn in order to get to your place of travel? 48 degrees. This is called a directional bearing. From north, we turn 48 degrees to the east. See that? Now, I'm going to figure out the numerical bearing. What is the bearing of north? What is the numerical bearing of north? 0. If I move 48 degrees past 0, what will that give me? 48 degrees. I've answered both of them for C. Now I'm going to move myself to B. Again, I like to make a little compass every time. North, east, south, west. Would you like to go from B to A or B to C? Let's go from B to A. Somebody give me the two-direction description of our travel. South, west. So I write down south and west. Everybody okay with that? So the question is, from south, how many degrees do we turn towards the west? 20 degrees. What is the bearing, numerical bearing of south? 180. If you turn 20 past 180, what will that give you? 200. You're thinking of when we did it the other, the old system. Okay. Okay, I've answered B to A. Now I'll do B to C. Give me the two words that describe my direction of travel to get from B to C. South, west. From the south line, how many degrees do I turn towards the west? 48 degrees. What is the numerical bearing of south? 180. If you turn 48 past 180, what will that give you? 228. Now, all we have left is to go from A to B. A to B is a little bit tricky because it would help to know this angle right here, wouldn't it? Well, north and east make 90 degrees. So if this is 70, what is this angle right here? 20 degrees. So, describe for me with two words, what's the direction I travel to get from A to B? North, east. From north, how many degrees do you turn towards the east? 20 degrees. What is the direction bearing of north? What's the numerical bearing of north? 0. If you turn 20 degrees past, you make it to 20 degrees. Now, let me show you how nicely this works out so you can check your answers. If I am standing here and I walk in this direction, and then I turn around and walk back, how many degrees did I turn? 180, right? If you turn around and head the opposite direction, if I turn 360, I would be like this. Like this, and I would turn. And I would be heading in the same direction, right? But if you just turn halfway, you turn 180 degrees. So look at the relationship here. A to B, 20. B to A, 200. What do they differ by? 180. 228 and 48. They differ by 270 and 90, they differ by. And then look at this part, east, west. Here, southwest, northeast, 48 stays the same. Northeast, southwest, 20 stays the same. And it will always work out like that. That's because you're turning around 180 degrees, and that's what that means. So, what I am going to do for you is on your assignment, you need to list both options. On your test, you just have to list one, whichever one you would prefer. Okay? So let's take out the worksheet and let's try one problem together. Oh, Emma, how did the clarinet go? Really? Use a reed with the clarinet? You got a new reed. Do you make your own reeds? You don't. My sister, Deanna, she was a saxophone performance major in college, and she would make her own reeds. She would have to soak them in a certain oil and stuff, and then have to dry them over a period of time, but she would make her own reeds. Reeds expensive? $3. No big deal, huh? Oboes are expensive. That's a hard instrument to play, kind of like French horn equipment. That's what we say. When the tough gets going, quit. All right, okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, all right. So angle A is 60 degrees. Angle C is 65 degrees. Can we figure out angle B? 55 degrees. Good job. I am going to start by stationing myself at A. North, east, south, and west. It says that A is due north of angle C. So if I walk from C to A, it's directly north. So can somebody tell me what is the bearing to get, give me a direction from A to C? South. Give me a numerical bearing. 180 degrees. Okay, now I'll put myself at C. Give me a description of the bearing from C to A. North. Give me a numerical bearing. 0 or 360 is fine. I usually choose 0. Hey, now I'm confused. What should I do? Well, let's make some grid lines. I've got a bunch of angles that we can fill in, and this will help us out. Emma's seen this lesson before. Would you agree, Emma, that kind of takes 2 days to kind of let this to sink in? Yep, take some time. It's new. Okay, well, if this is 60 degrees, what would this angle have to be? South and east make how many degrees? It would have to be 30 degrees because it makes a total of 90. Good. Now I've got a triangle that has a 90-degree angle and a 30-degree angle. So this angle will be 60. Hey, I've got a straight line here. A straight line is how many degrees? 180. So subtract 60, I get 120. Subtract 55, and I get 65 degrees. Now I have 65 and 90. That has to add up to 180. So I will have 25 degrees right here. All right. Not too bad. So, I'm going to put myself back at A. Somebody give me a description. What is the travel from A to B? Southeast. Good job. And I always do this. I always start at south or north. From south, how many degrees do I turn towards the east? 60 degrees. Am I turning 60 degrees back or 60 degrees forward? 60 degrees back. What's 60 degrees back of 180? 120. Okay, now I'm going to put myself at C, and I'm going to go from C to B. What is the description of getting from C to B? North, east. How many degrees to the east of north do we turn? 65 degrees. What is the north bearing? 0. If I turn 65 degrees past, so give me 65 degrees. Oh, hey, let's move on over to B. I actually have students that they'll draw the compasses on their sheet every time. I also have students that will actually make a compass out of paper and place it on their sheet every time. That's fine. Up to you. Yep. What is the bearing from B to A? Give me a description. North, west. From north, how many degrees did you turn towards the west? 60 degrees. What is the bearing of north? 0 or 360. So I'm turning back 60. Should I go back 60 from 0 or back 60 from 360? Yeah, so I would get to 300. So that's where you have to think about the 0 and the 360 piece. And finally, let's go from B to C. What is the directional bearing from B to C? South, west. From south, how many degrees do we turn towards the west? 65 degrees. Okay. So, am I turning, what is the bearing of south? 180. If I turn 65 past, that'll bring me to 245. Hey, let's check our answers to see if they're reasonable, okay? 120 and 300. Do those differ by 180? 245 and 65. Do those differ by 180? 180 and 0? And then north-south, completely opposite, right? Southwest, northeast, both 65. Southeast, northwest, both 60. So we've got a good chance of getting it correct then, okay? So what I would like you guys to do is, this worksheet is your assignment. We are going to spend 2 days on it. So it's 2 days to finish one assignment. Tomorrow, don't pick my knee. So what we are going to do is, I would encourage you to try problems 2 and 3. Tomorrow we'll do one problem from the back side as well. So that'll leave a total of 4 to do on your own, okay? Fair enough? All right. I'm going to start getting ready to leave for the track meet, and I will be here to the end of the week. Okay, fair enough. All right. Thank you for your hard work today, and